Hey everyone, and welcome back to some more esports talk. My name is Hunter, and as usual, thank you so much for tuning in. Today we're going to be talking about the rise of gambling streams and how they have just managed to ruffle some feathers in the gaming world, with some streamers like xQc and Trainwrecks getting paid to do sponsored streams that are just advertisements for gambling websites. Other streamers have come forward in order to criticize these streams that they're doing, these advertisements that they're doing for gambling websites. Streamers will say things like it's unhealthy for the audience to be watching that because these streamers like xQc and Trainwrecks are getting paid, so they're not really losing anything in the long run. And so viewers will tune in and see these huge streamers make a lot of money supposedly on stream through these gambling websites, and then you think about it, they'll probably be impressionable and go and gamble on their own, and then they lose their money instead of gaining it like they are.
I see gambling's become kind of f***ing big these days. That's a little dangerous. I've never had a problem with it, but it seems a bit dangerous, I think. When you see one of your favorite streamers get like a huge payday, and you're like an impressionable 15, 16-year-old, relatively speaking, losing 30k for xQc is the same as if you lost a $5 bill, but there's a difference between that and getting paid to do it, to promote it. There's a massive difference. And there's a big difference in and of itself between blackjack, roulette, slots, poker, than there is to gambling going for a piece of cardboard. Nobody's losing their entire lives over chasing a goddamn Pokemon card. People's lives are ruined all the time over chasing a jackpot, huge millions of dollars that they believe they can win on a slot machine. So getting paid to promote it, super different.
They tune in, they see him winning like $5 grand in one pull or whatever, however that works, and then they think like, oh shit, I'll do it too. Like I could get that. You know what I mean? He can lose that kind of money. You can't. And even then, he probably can't lose that kind of money either, especially if it gets out of control. Do not do it. Do not do it. Do not do it. It's not a joke, dude. You will literally never know how to stop.
And to be honest, I do think that these are valid concerns that they have, right? A lot of Twitch viewers are a younger audience or are people that just don't have the same amount of money as top streamers do. I mean, they have a ridiculous amount of money, right? And so I think that these are fair concerns, especially when you take into account the average age of these viewers and what they might be impressioned to do, right? But some people are firing back. You'll see xQc saying that these are just like the Pokemon card streams that we saw recently.
I got a lot of shit when I played blackjack on stream because I was promoting gambling to children. And now Pokemon is big and everyone loves it. And now it's gambling, but with like a kid-friendly label slapped on. Gambling. Rated PG for everyone. That's kind of how it feels.
Wait a minute. Isn't that kind of like when we used to open the cards? Like you did on his stream? Where we opened the cards that have a whatever value that is really marketed for children? Wait a minute. And then we screamed when we got a card that was worth 4, 5, 6,000? Guys, I'm seeing some similarities here, boys.
And I mean, I'm not someone to decide what is and what isn't gambling, right? Like, I can't tell you if Pokemon cards are really the same thing as gambling necessarily. I think, obviously, there's a little bit of a difference in what you are doing. And I don't know. It's just a hard topic. Because, yes, when you are opening these cards, whether it's Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh!, Magic, you are, in a sense, gambling your money because you're buying something, right? You're buying these card packs, and then you are hoping that you get the more valuable ones. So that is gambling your money technically, right? But I do think there is a difference between doing that and playing, you know, all of these different gambling games, whether it's slots or blackjack on stream for a sponsored stream where they are paying you to play that on stream, and then you don't actually lose any money or make any of the money, right? You just get whatever they paid you. And so it's a lot of gray area in there, and a lot of people have strong opinions on it. A couple of good points are brought up by Train and Asman. Train says that I personally love gambling. And even with my personality naturally catering to an older audience and me constantly telling people the terrible reality of gambling that they don't see on stream, I would still love a system on Twitch similar to watch parties, but for age restriction. Asmund says a lot of talk about gambling streams recently. I personally hate gambling, and if it were up to me, all forms of casino gambling would be illegal. If it's not against TOS, people will do it though. It's up to Twitch to decide if it should be. Hating on streamers won't change anything. And those are 2 points that I really appreciate, to be perfectly honest. I mean, seeing Train, which is one of the main people in this conversation, right? He's someone that a lot of folks were pointing out as doing these gambling streams, come forward and say, hey, it matches, you know, who I am as a personality on stream. So I think it does make sense to my audience, but also I would love to add an age restriction. If that was possible, I would add it. And that is a feature that I think obviously people will get around, right? Like, you're gonna see kids who don't put in their actual age at the end of the day, and so they're gonna watch anyways. But I think it would stop a lot of people who are younger from seeing the content and being, you know, so swayed to maybe go gamble their money on some random website. And so I appreciate Train for saying that, and I think it is a great point. And then Asmund coming in and saying that, hey, these streamers, like, what is hating on them gonna do at the end of the day, right? Like, this isn't their fault. Like, these are people coming forward with ads for them, and they're making, you know, their money off of this, making a living by doing this ad, and Twitch allows it. It's not against TOS, so they're not doing anything wrong. And so at what point, like, is it okay? You know, like, I think it is still okay. And so then Ludwig ends up making the point that I think I probably end up agreeing with the most.
Why do you support gambling for children? I support gambling as a whole. F them kids. I don't give a shit. Gambling's pog. I play blackjack all the time. I'm not your mom. What do you want from me? Try to guilt my ass like I give a shit.
I think it's easy to get upset about this, that, and the other constantly about what other people are doing, especially when you're not the person getting paid to do it, right? Like, they're the ones doing these sponsored streams, and so it's easy from the outside looking in to be upset about it. But like Ludwig says, they are under no contract, no like necessity to be parents to these kids. We've seen these sort of arguments, you know, with Ninja before as well, where people think that Ninja should be parenting their kids and he should be a better role model. But at the end of the day, like, they get to be whoever they want, right? Like, we don't get to control their lives just because they are public figures, just because they are public entertainers. It's still up to them. Anyways, guys, that's all I've got. Until next time, let me know what you think about these gambling streams and if they are okay. Be safe, be smart, behave, and I'll catch you later.